My name is Aria, and I'm 24 years old living in the city. My primary profession is modeling, but I mainly model for flyers and various clothing lines. I also work as an influencer, although it's only a part-time gig. Currently, I reside with my newly husband Gavin. Gavin and I actually attended the same college and moved in similar social circles, which is how our romantic journey began. After we graduated and started working, our bond only grew stronger. We decided to tie the knot, and I was confident that Gavin's serious and dependable nature would lead to a blissful marriage. Little did I know how different reality would turn out to be. Following our decision to get married, we promptly paid a visit to my in-laws. Gavin's parents live in the countryside, far from the city. His father is retired, while his mother continues to work as a teacher. I was eagerly looking forward to meeting Gavin's parents and was excited to see what kind of people they were. Gavin assured me, saying, "Aria, you're intelligent and beautiful. They're sure to love you." I had no reservations and was genuinely excited about this meeting. However, upon meeting them, things took an unexpected turn. "Oh, you must be Aria," my mother-in-law commented, to which I replied, "Yes, it's lovely to meet you, mother-in-law." Her response caught me off guard as she remarked, "Mother-in-law who told you to call me that? I don't want you addressing me as mother-in-law." Perplexed, I asked, "What should I call you then?" That's when things went downhill. My mother-in-law criticized my appearance, stating that I looked unkempt with my dyed hair and brown eyebrows. She even questioned my sense of style, claiming that a person's grooming reflected their character. My husband Gavin was taken aback and tried to intervene, saying, "Mom, that's a bit harsh. Aria is well-dressed," but my mother-in-law continued to berate me. Despite my husband's efforts to calm the situation, my mother-in-law's judgmental attitude left me feeling hurt and uncomfortable. Gavin stood by my side during the ordeal with my mother-in-law. She continued her tirade, insisting that I should have arrived with dark hair if I were coming to announce our marriage. She claimed that she couldn't entrust her son to someone who lacked manners and proper behavior. In the midst of her harsh words, my mother-in-law even threw salt at me. Gavin desperately tried to restrain her and calm the situation, repeatedly saying, "Mom, stop it." Just then, my father-in-law entered the room, apologizing for his tardiness and expressing his confusion about the commotion. Gavin explained the situation, and my father-in-law sincerely apologized, assuring me that my mother-in-law was still adjusting to the idea of her son's marriage. He promised that he would make an effort to prevent any future rudeness. With a bow of his head, my father-in-law tried to smooth things over. However, as I turned to leave, my mother-in-law threw salt at me again, a gesture that apparently wards off negative energy. To my surprise, Gavin and my father-in-law both burst into laughter at this unusual custom. Despite my mother-in-law's disapproval, it seemed that her actions provided some unintentional comic relief. Following that initial encounter, my mother-in-law continued to nitpick about my family background and my career. However, my father-in-law consistently intervened and reprimanded her for her behavior. I hoped that with time, I would be able to build a better relationship with my mother-in-law and that our initial misunderstandings would fade away. Our wedding took place on our first anniversary as a couple. We celebrated with my model friends and social media followers, making it a joyous occasion. At the time, I believed that I had reached the peak of my modeling career, with a growing number of social media followers and occasional offers to endorse cosmetic products. Following our wedding, Gavin and I enjoyed a peaceful honeymoon together. On the first New Year's Day following our marriage, my in-laws proposed a trip to a hot spring. They suggested we visit a renowned hot spring resort in Gavin's hometown, known for its delectable seafood and scenic outdoor baths overlooking the sea. I was brimming with excitement about spending the new year with my husband and his family and wondered what souvenir I should bring to show my gratitude. As the year was drawing to a close, we had packed various gifts for the occasion. Upon arriving at the hotel that my in-laws had arranged for us, our journey was momentarily interrupted by a phone call received by Gavin while we were on the train. As I inquired about the nature of the call, Gavin decided not to disclose it right away, suggesting that he could fill me in later. He then agreed to delegate the task to me, and after concluding the call with a sigh, he explained that his mother had requested his graduation album for a family reunion during the New Year celebration. His great aunt on his father's side had insisted on seeing it, and his mother had even offered to cover the transportation expenses. Gavin then decided to return to our hotel to retrieve the album and suggested that I proceed to the hot spring in the meantime. I understood his reasoning, acknowledging that the situation might be somewhat overwhelming for me, and he apologized before leaving the train at the next station. Arriving at the hotel, I entered the lobby to find my mother-in-law seated alone on a sofa. We exchanged greetings and I presented her with the souvenir, hoping she would appreciate it. However, when I extended the gift towards her, my mother-in-law unexpectedly knocked it to the floor. I don't particularly care for sweets. You bought it without even thinking, didn't you? My mother-in-law's irritation was evident. Oh no, that's not it. Gavin told me you liked pumpkin pie, so I picked it up for you. Maybe your tastes have changed, I ventured, trying to diffuse the situation. I see. Lately, I've been leaning more towards fish than meat, I added. Huh? My mother-in-law seemed puzzled. But the pumpkin pies here are famous, I continued. I made a reservation a month in advance and lined up early this morning to get them. You really should give them a try. They're so delicious, they'll make your cheeks tingle. I couldn't help but smile. My mother-in-law scolded me, clearly growing more irritated by the moment. Why are you grinning like a fool? You're such a bother, she exclaimed. I offered an apology, genuinely concerned that I might have offended her. Quiet down, she snapped. I guess all those pumpkin pies have made you thirsty, haven't they? I agreed, hoping for some tea. That's not what I meant, she continued, her tone growing sharper. Let me make something clear. I didn't make a reservation for you tonight. It's just me, my son, and my husband. You're the only outsider up here in the mountains. Do you understand? Now get out of my sight. With a self-satisfied expression, my mother-in-law took her seat and walked away. I was taken aback by her intense reaction. Were this what people referred to as marital harassment? It was an unexpected experience, and I couldn't resist sharing it with my social media followers. I recounted the entire incident, having only previously seen stories of spousal bullying on the internet or in YouTube videos. Experiencing it firsthand left me feeling somewhat touched, and I decided to share this unusual encounter with my audience. Following that, I headed to the front desk and secured a room for myself. I opted for a higher class room, similar to the one I had originally intended to share with my mother-in-law and her family. I decided to unwind and wait for Gavin in my room. As I checked my cell phone, I noticed that my post about the marital dispute had garnered more responses than I had ever expected. Most of the comments expressed outrage at my mother-in-law's behavior. As I scrolled through the comments, one particular URL caught my eye. I clicked on it, and a video began playing. The video featured a distant shot of my mother-in-law and me, with her loud and obnoxious yelling clearly audible. It was footage from when she had been berating me earlier. Someone had apparently recorded it. I couldn't help but marvel at the power of modern smartphones, but I also realized that this wasn't a positive development. I promptly submitted a request to have the video removed. However, it had already amassed a significant number of views and was spreading like wildfire. The comments section was equally active, with people sympathizing with me and condemning my mother-in-law for her irrational behavior. When Gavin finally arrived, I recounted the situation to him. He was livid with his mother. Watching the video only intensified his anger. I never thought my mother was capable of such behavior, he said, his disgust for his mother apparent. Subsequently, Gavin went to talk to his parents about the matter. When he explained the situation to his father, who had been unaware of it until then, he too was furious. It seemed that Gavin and his father confronted my mother-in-law about her actions. After a while, Gavin, my mother-in-law, and my father-in-law entered my room. My father-in-law spoke up, addressing my mother-in-law. Arya, my wife has done something terrible. I'm sorry. You should apologize as well. He urged my mother-in-law to offer an apology, though she appeared extremely reluctant to do so. I'm sorry, my mother-in-law mumbled half-heartedly. But soon her sarcasm returned as she remarked, You sure have the audacity to stay in such a nice room. Frustrated, I retorted, Have you seen my social media? It's causing quite a stir right now. My mother-in-law shrugged indifferently. I don't do social networking. It's also ridiculous, she scoffed. However, I decided to show her the videos and the comments to make her understand the magnitude of the situation. As I displayed the videos and comments to her, my mother-in-law's face grew progressively paler. She stammered, What is this? What is this video? Is this your doing? Delete it. She seemed agitated, realizing that someone had secretly recorded their exchange. I wish I could delete it, but it's gone viral. People all over the country are watching it, blaming me. I explained. I'm even receiving requests to take it down, but it may never be completely removed from the internet. It's been translated and subtitled, making its way to foreign countries. You've unwittingly become an international sensation. My mother-in-law sank to the floor, seemingly defeated. If you hadn't attacked Arya in the first place, none of this would have happened. You should think about that, I told her. My father-in-law, in a final act of admonishment, slapped my mother-in-law gently. He then helped her back to her room, where she sat completely drained of energy. After that, John and I thoroughly enjoyed our trip to the hot spring and returned home with a deep sense of satisfaction. Looking forward to the year ahead, it turned out to be a wonderful year indeed. In the aftermath, a parent who had seen the video filed a complaint with the school board, leading to my mother-in-law's resignation from her long-held teaching position. Her career, along with the respect and honor she had earned over the years, crumbled, leaving behind only the unfortunate reputation of a marital tyrant. Since then, she has lived a life marked by fear of the judgmental eyes of her neighbors, striving for peace and quiet. Gavin, still unable to forgive his mother, made it clear that he would have no further contact with her. He vowed not to allow her to see any future grandchildren, effectively severing any ties between her and me. Nonetheless, I maintained a friendly relationship with my father-in-law, who has always been kind and supportive. As for my mother-in-law's activities and whereabouts, they remained a mystery to me. Gavin and I continued to lead a happy life together. My own fame continued to grow, partly due to the buzz surrounding the video of the marital harassment incident. I furthered my career as a model and influencer, even offering advice to others facing mother-in-law troubles. I look forward to continuing to enjoy the blessings of life.